Yo, 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 yo. What up? What up? What up? What up? Good morning, everybody. All right, man. We got all sorts of heat now. Hey, happy Tesla Day, everybody. Today's a happy Tesla Day. Let's get to work, man. We got things to do. I'm going to get my creams on. Ooh. All right, everybody in? All right, let's get juicy. Let's get saucy. And let's go and do what we got to do, which is the do. All right. All right, cool. Let's get rolling. Now, first of all, we got a small gap up in the market. Continuing on, kind of yesterday or the previous day's momentum. Yesterday was an inside day in a nutshell, right? Inside day is when you do what? Well, when you have a big trending day and then you have really just a narrow range day underneath. And, we had the Fed and stuff like that. And it didn't look like there was much of a change in policy on anything like that. And so now we're kind of gapping up and we're taking out a little bit of this range. And so we got ourselves, like we got ourselves some good spots here. So I think, as long as we're kind of holding over the inside day range, we've got ourselves all sorts of goodies. And then we got all sorts of earnings plays out today too. So beyond just the QQQs, which are holding up above previous day's range, we have also what? Well, we got a whole host of, earnings plays out here too, right? So, today's a Tesla day, right? And so you got Tesla gapping up 4% and, really just kind of hugging on that 50-day moving average. It looks like the structure of the setup is still holding up right after that multi-100% run, right? You're just tightening up over here. And it's not necessarily in a trend anymore, but, you never know. Today could be the day that it kind of comes out of it, right? Who knows, right? Not a huge reaction so far, but a reaction nonetheless. So let's see what else we got going on here. Beyond that, right? What else we got? We got old Microsoft here too. And Microsoft is not reacting very well to its earnings. Now, it's nothing, I don't think it's really any big hoopla on the downside or anything. It's just stuck in a range and probably drifts down, over time into this 410, 415, 405 zone. And right then probably comes out of that a little bit. We've got a handful of things here. So, I think both of these will be in play. And then we got some other, we got a couple other bad boys going on too. You got old IBM, right, up 9% in a big flat top breakout. Hey, I don't know what this company's been up to lately, but it's been in a huge trend of the last, year. Been left for dead, and now it's come all the way back. This is, these are the type of plays that we want to be taking a look at, right? Stocks that are busting out of big ranges. Meta had its earnings out, not much of a reaction, but it had already been running up 100. Not having like some monster cock gap, it's still up, about its normal ATR. And, on Meta's earnings call, they threw out a little shout out to AVGO. And so AVGO's picking up some steam here too. And, you're kind of testing the top of its breakdown bar from the nasty deep dick news that came out a few days ago. So you got a little bit of a rebounding action on these kind of things too. So we got all sorts of goodies happening here. It looks like so far the market is holding up its structure after it gapped down on the deep dick news. You've got right couple days where you're starting to kind of just grind your way back. And so this is all right. Good stuff. I think semiconductors probably will be in play today because ASML also had earnings out there. Big company, big Euro company that's been really left for dead of recent. and they're gapping up also 4%, give or take. So you've got a whole host of these things along with LVS, even LRCX, right? You got this one also starting to come out of range, up 8%. This is $100 billion company itself. So you've got yourself a whole gamut of things to play today. I think that we're going to have ourselves a little bit of fun. So beyond, a handful of these earnings that we looked up, let's take a look and see what else, right? What else we got? So we got, what day is it today? Is it Wednesday or Thursday? Cool. Yeah, I think today is. Anybody know what day it is? Fuck. It's Thursday. You're right. So I think we got Apple after the close too. Bum 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 bum. We'll have Apple after the close. We got Visa after the close. So we got all sorts of goodies, even on this side of things too. So let's take a look and see what kind of gappers we got, what other little fandazzles we have, and let's see what we can do. Guys, the small cap market is still hot too. We're not really playing anything on that aspect of things, but we do got we do got a little bit of action in these. Look at this, 16 million shares, big base that's coming out of, if you're gonna play these things, this is the season to do it, right? You got something like this ATHE, dude, you're taking out some range, you got 10 million shares in volume, right? That's probably the kind of plays that you want to do. Not my particular flavor, but hey, I don't judge anybody for smelling their own farts. We all do it. We all been there. Some of us like it more than others, but in essence, right, it's just a part of life. CLS, yeah, you can see this one took that big shitter a couple days ago. Now it's rebounded back. Big gap up on earnings. That's not bad. I think that's probably, you can add some of these bad boys. You can add something like that. ACMR too. You got a little PR out on this, and it's starting to cook through. You got all these little doohickeys starting to push through. Bum, 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 bum. These are all AVGO ETFs. Tesla ETFs are all popping too. And I look at this IBM, right? So you've got yourself a bunch of upgrades on this bad boy. You're clearing out a couple months of range. Yes, it's IBM, but if you didn't know that it was IBM, what would you say? You say, well, this looks actually pretty damn good, right? This might be something that we want to be playing. So I would add this to your watch list. I'd add it in. Yeah, I'd add this in and see. Let's see if this thing can take out some ranges at the open, and we will get the shreddies going. Ba, 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 ba. You can see here Nokia, man. Dude, Nokia phones were the best, man. So they still make them. I take it, but nobody has them. Those original bricks, I mean, those were indestructible. You could be like at the bar with your Nokia brick phone, and like if you're like if you're in Detroit or Chicago, where anything can happen, it's like you have this weapon, but the phone doesn't break either. It's like you got your Nokia phone, you're adding some squirrel's phone number, cigarette in one hand, beer in another, and it's a weapon. Like you just can't beat that. Like Nokia's, they don't make that. Like you wouldn't, these days, like look, if somebody attacked you and you would still think twice about it, like hitting them with your iPhone, because those iPhones are $1,500 and you're sitting there like, man, this guy, he may play with my butt and steal my money. But if I hit him with this phone, then I'm going to be out $1,500. And Apple Care and Sprint, they're going to be hassling me. Well, how did you crack your screen? And then they're going to send me around. Like, how'd you crack your screen? That doesn't look like it was just, a manufacturer's defect. That looks like you did something. And you're like, yeah, I was protecting my butt. And then they're going to deny your claim. And you're going to be sitting there like, man, I should have just been attacked. Because now I got to pay these. I got to sit on the phone with these people. But you didn't have that problem with Nokia. You never had that problem with Nokia. Nokia, you just bam, right? You just hit somebody in the head. Of course, you're worried you may kill them. That would be not ideal. When somebody attacks you, you don't want to kill them. Like, it's more about teaching lessons, right? Like, you shoot them in the kneecap, right? Like that would hurt, and you'd limp for a long time, or in the hands. Two kneecaps, one hand. That's like a nice thing, right? But you don't want to really get too deep on this thing. These Nokias are dangerous. So this is nice that this company's still around. I don't know if there's anything we can do with it, but hey, hey, you remember those StarTACs? Like that, you couldn't defend yourself with a Motorola StarTAC, right? Somebody would be looking at you like a piece of meat, and then they giggle when they see that StarTAC. They'd be like, oh, by the time you flip it open and find the little buttons and call that 911, you're dead. You're like, shit. Right? Like, damn, I wish I had my Nokia. All right? Like, I wish I had that goddamn Nokia. Man, the old days were fun, man. What was fun is when you could just like be smoking ciggies inside. That was a nice thing. All right. And then you go home and you like have to like get out of all your clothes and like throw them in the corner so that your bed sheets wouldn't smell. Man, the 90s were a cool time. Oh my God. Even if you weren't smoking the ciggies, it was just like you're just enveloped. It's like my mom would be like, where were you? I was studying at my friend's house. What is that smell then? Nothing. We had a fire pit going, Ma. Fire pit, It's like we had bad wood. She's like, oh, okay. I was going to say because it smelled very, very dirty. Las Vegas Sands. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, you could actually probably play this bad boy too. This is probably, it's not that clean. Actually, fuck it. Las Vegas Sands sucks to trade. I take it off. I changed my mind. Hey, Karina. Let's see what else is going on. Guys, we'll circle down and clean up this list in a hot second. You got NBIS too. Yeah. Pass. Yeah, I'm interested. So AVGO, you got maybe $5-10 more worth of room still before you kind of run into some supply. It is popping because Meta had mentioned them a couple times. I'd add this. If you want to trade any semis, that's probably the one. Karina. Junk. All right. We got still some things going. So let's take a look here. So Tesla's starting to cruise up here. You dip down in the morning a couple times. So it's not been like some gangbusters, like earnings play. It's been having some fits and starts. If you look at like from the moment that the earnings were announced, you actually dumped off to 365 for a hot second on just a quick kind of panicked up. And then now you started to rebound all the way back 50 points. And now it's just kind of building. And, we'll see. I think, if it could start to just base out a little bit here, Zaman, the Persian pirate, baby. The Persian pirate. Yeah, if you can start to just base this thing out a little bit, right? And then maybe kind of take out this range, I think that kind of sets it up a little bit. It'll need just a little bit of work. Ideally, right? You kind of dump it off a little bit, pop it back up, and kind of just marinate this thing. But you're in a spot here. It's probably the market. The market's looking pretty healthy so far this morning. If the market can hold up, then I think this is something we got to do. And then, you've got yourself probably some upside on this bad boy to get it going. Now, I didn't see that part. Zaman, link me that PR if you don't mind. Yeah, that's looking pretty zesty here. So let's add that one. Now, look, on the other side of things, Bitcoin has been up about 1% here. You're sitting about 105. Guys, this is a really nice base on Bitcoin. All these dips are getting absorbed. The dip to the 50, then it starts to trend up, the dip into the bone zone, right? Starting to trend up. And we got ourselves something here. Man, that's nice. Real nice. So IBIT, the launch pad is about 6120. You could get there any day, guys. In the meantime, right, what we want to be doing, in the meantime, if that starts to really shape up, you've got yourself a semi kind of, you got yourself a little bit of a spot in the Coinzilla around 300, give or take. It did perk its pickle over for about a hot second. And, dude, it was just prairie dog in there. Right? It was just prairie dog in there for a second. And then boom, it popped back down. And you're seeing that a little bit in this market where they kind of pop through and then undercut back. I think that's probably, somewhat of the play, but it's not that clean. I think MSTR is it's impossible to trade lately. So, up, down, all around. It's better. MSTR, you're better off doing almost like range trading tactics where, whenever it looks good, you start shorting it. And whenever it looks bad, you start buying it, till this kind of range resolves itself. Till that moment, I don't think you really got something. But beyond that, we may, if we think if the Bitcoin looks like it's going to bust, I would probably go maybe like 2 weeks out and, you rip some IBIT calls, do the February 14th or something like that. You can see here, like it's a 61 breakout, dude. You can get the 62 calls. You go 2 weeks out there, $1.50. That ain't so bad. A little bit thin, but for some of you guys, that's good. You chubby chasers should get used to a little thinness. It's all good. Like you can roll with this bad boy. I like that overall look. What you think? Yeah, it's a buenos. It's a muchos and a buenos. Bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao. Yeah, I'm liking it. All right, cool. Now, beyond that, I want you to add in a couple names here. The CRM got dumped off a little bit after hours yesterday. Not after hours. It got dumped off at the opening candle here. And now you're starting to kind of press this thing back. This may be something we want. It had a huge run for a second. We may want to watch this bad boy for a bounce. I didn't see what the news was. Let me look this up real quick. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. Hold on. Oh, I didn't see anything. Anybody see any news on this bad boy? Let me check up on the old Benzinga. Hold on. You got this huge pop, and then the first test usually of the 9 EMA is a good spot. Let me see what's going on. Yeah, I didn't see any news. Let's add this to the watch list for now, and we'll kind of keep this thing recycling a little bit. Good. Beyond that, what else we got? Yeah, I think there's a couple names here that we want to add in, right? You're starting to see these rounding patterns on some of these software names. Asana, dude, I use Asana for work. It's fucking impossible. I know why these guys went from 170 to 20, because you can't use their shit. But you got a nice spot here, and check out this. You got, after that big pop, inside day, right? So you just get this narrow range day. Dude, that's a one-os. That's a muchos and the buenos. Man, that's hot. What'd you think? Yeah, let's add that bad boy. Whoop. Pull over there, that's too fat. Yeah, look, snow double topped here after that huge day. Now you've had kind of 2 days of just light candles down. Today's gap down. I could call it another day. This, I think we can roll with. You're starting to push in right back into the 9 EMA. That's nice. Real, real nice. So one test, two tests, pulling back here. You get a little test of the 9, and you should get a show and go to kind of push this thing back up. What you think? Yeah, let's add this too. A little snow blow. A little snow blow. I like. All right, cool. What else? Now let's see on the downside what we got, and then we're gonna go to rip back through, make sure we're not missing any earnings plays. I think we want to look at this UPS real quick too. Dude, just get boom. Big spot here. Now it's down a lot here, but that's a big breakdown. You get a little pop up at the open. This week in shred. You got good liquidity on it so far. Let's add that. Whirlpool, never any liquidity. Hey, the Cigna Group. This thing is thinner than, Tarun's noodle. But you got a spot here. Yeah, nice breakdown over here. Dude, we could roll with this. You don't mind a little bit more expensive play? I mean, that's clean. You're gonna have some sick range on this too, right? Like you're already each candle of this is moving a couple dollars. You can roll with it. Let's add that. Yeah, now is also, look, this thing is up hundreds of percent in the last few years. Coming back. Ooh, that could work. $1,000 stock, but hey, what isn't these days? Oh, see this bad boy? Also, you got like a nice push. These are like and we're going to narrow these down here, but these are the type of earnings plays you want to do where they got the range and then they're kind of breaking down through some levels. Dude, Comcast. Whoa. Yeah, see this bad boy? Like big breakdown over here. Now this is a thick bastard, right? It's 3-4 billion share float, so it does tend to grind. That's the only issue with it. But these are the kind of names you want to look for. MBLY also had earnings, I believe. Adjusted earnings, revenue falls, issues guidance, shares down. Boop. This, you like a little cheaper name? This, you got a bear flag on this thing. You already got 1.5 million shares in volume. for day trading itself, like you're gonna have a decent enough range on this. It's easy to borrow also. I think you can roll with this. Yeah, I think you can. Hot damn. Let's add that for just a sec. We're gonna narrow all this down a little bit. Zscaler. What the fuck? Oh, ZSL, not Zscaler. These are all ETFs. Yeah, Microsoft's got it too. Microsoft sucks to trade. It really does. It's like anytime you see somebody trading Microsoft too, you always feel bad. You're like, fuck. Do they know they're gonna have so much stress to like rip like 20 cents? Right? Like I would see somebody in our chat room, they're like, dude, Microsoft looking good. I'm like, yeah, looking good for 10 cents. This thing is just a monster undy to trade. Caterpillar, no man's land. Got it. All right, cool. Let's dig through this all right? And kind of narrow our focus a little bit because you got, my original watch list is like a fucking 100 names, but I gotta fucking narrow this bad boy down, right? I do think Dash looks decent. I think that for me, Dash feels more like a swing trade stock. It doesn't move that much. You got a 2.6% ATR. So, like, when you see Dash like set up, to me, like, that's something like, it's a little bit illiquid and it's got low ATR. So you're like in a holy sweet spot of troubles when you're trying to day trade, especially at the open. It tends to make just a little bit better swing trade than, a day trade. So just something to kind of keep into the back of your head. We had an inside day in shop yesterday. I tried to hit this a couple times. Oh, I was up a buck on it, but it didn't do anything. And I was trading a little bit haphazard, but you got an inside day on it. Now you got a flat open on this bad boy. This could work possibly out of the gate. Sometimes and you always want to differentiate your trades, right? Like, you have stuff that needs to set up. And then like you have stuff like you look at the daily chart, you look at the pre-market, the previous day's action, and you figure out like, can I shred this like quickly? Like, is this something I could do in the first hour because it's close enough to the levels I need? And so you do have a spot here, right? Where it won't take much to kind of push this thing through. And then you're after it. Now, another inside day or two, or even a down day could happen, but usually after such a big thrust, one inside day is enough in a hot market to just congeal it enough and tighten it enough to build up some explosion. And then you can kind of roll with this thing. You can roll with this bad boy. So I'd add this one too. I think that's probably, that's close to top of the list. Yo, yes, SCE did break out. Let this thing pull back. If it pulls back and kind of marinates back into this, I think you can do it. Same thing, right? Like, Baba kind of peaked out yesterday. Gap up, pull back. I think these probably, they need some time to just tighten up now. PDD is at a spot, but they haven't been putting out any AI deep dick PRs, right? So kind of Baba was the one that was doing that, but I think you can roll with that. I like this crowd. After the big stick, right, 40 points, you got an inside day, and you got a flat open on this one. All right, a flat open on this one. So when you get a big push, then you get a flat open. I think that's like, now you're in the boots and coots over there. Oh, hell yeah. That's nice. Real nice. So I want you to add in shop. I want you to add in this crowd. Oh, man. Even Tesla's open up very nice. Boom, 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 boom. Good. This is hot. The snow is also pulling back into some support. Let's see if this goes red to green. I like the open a little bit better on the shop just because you're like kind of right there. You can see Meta's already pushing through. I'll probably stay away from this one. It's worth watching. I may stay away from this one because I haven't. When these stocks have their earnings out and then they're already up 10 days in a row, 11 days in a row, 9 days in a row, that kind of that double Lutzy is always around the corner where like you're like, yeah, it looks great. And then it just goes bam, and you're like, damn it. Like I knew I shouldn't have done that. It's up 10 days in a row. And I feel like I'm kind of in that spot on this. And, also Meta's just a notorious Randy to trade anyways. Now let's go back into some of this, right? So you got this, earnings breakouts here. CLS, I would give this a C plus to B minus just because of the location. IBM's a little bit better location, but thick, right? It doesn't move as well. Yeah, this volume buzz is a nice thing to use in the when you have the earnings season, because it kind of give you an idea of like how much flow is coming into this thing. Now, look, this Acro had that big PR out. If this takes this out, like it could shred. It's a pretty low float, 45 million shares. You've got a nice, easy location there at 57.58. Like that's the spot. You want to come in on that bad boy. This eat sucks. Boom, boom, boom. Asan, we got a spot. Nice spot too, right? 22, and we fucking shred this thing. Then we got Crowdzilla. Loving the Crowdzilla. That's a buenos. And yeah, the rest of these you can kind of, leave alone. Hey, NXT had its earnings out yesterday. Look at the open on this. Nice flat open coming right into a good sweet spot. That's nice. Real. Damn, that's nice. Real nice. Cool. We got MBLY now. Teradyne. I think now in Teradyne you can kind of put more on a secondary. No, I wouldn't say secondary, but they are a little bit thin. Same thing with like the Sigma. So we got a couple on the downside. If we need to orb some stuff, damn, that's nice. Cool. Let's fucking shred here, guys. Let's get our 6 windows going. We got still a flat open on the market. I want to go crowd. I want to go shop. I got the Tesla. Bum 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 bum. Then we are gonna add in a little bit of a sun, right? Because I like the location of that bad boy. Yeah, you could add in, Meta if you want. The AVGO, I think probably out of the what you call it? The semiconductors looks pretty good. You could do IBM. Yeah, I kind of like this Acro though out of the group. I think that one's got, if it goes, that one's got the most juice. Hell yeah. All right. Let's go do what we do. Hey guys, boot camp restarts up today. Make sure you got all your links and stuff. For guys in the last boot camp, I want you retaking this boot camp. So anybody that took the last boot camp, you got to retake it. You want to retake it as many times as you can. But the first 2-3 times is very important because you want to kind of keep that learning continuous. All right, let's go shred.